switch on the mics. Hello. Hello, hello.
Hello.
Hopefully you can actually see us now. Look, there we are.
Can you see us?
Now, the only sort of drawback of all this is that you have to mute all of these sites in your browser because otherwise they all come out really loud.
Whoosh. Something's happening. Sorry. There you go. Okay. Sorry.
No, don't worry. We're going live all over the place. I think the technology is actually working, which is kind of remarkable.
It is
hello.
amazing.
Hello. You can
Hello,
probably
everyone.
see me. I'm Nathan Wrigley, and over to I never get this right. Yes. Over that side is Piccia. I always go the wrong way, and there she is, being Piccia. And we have decided to do this thing on a monthly basis. Well, it might be a month or it might be 5 weeks or something like that. Who knows? And Piccia's going to come on and just run through a few websites that you've submitted. If it's all right with you, Piccia, before I introduce you, I'm just going to do something very quick. I'm going to go over to my monitor like that. And I'm going to say that if you go to wpbuilds.com/UI, that couldn't be easier to remember, could it? wpbuilds.com/UI, then you'll get to this page. And this page is a form. And in that form, you can submit your name, your email, and a website that you would like Piccia to review from a UI UX perspective. And you can add any further comments in here. This is one of those gravity forms which self-expunges itself. So the data will be removed after 14 days. So I'm not after adding you to any email list or anything like that. Unless you tick this box, of course. So I'd encourage you to tick that box. And then you will be added to an email list. But if you don't, you won't. And as GDPR forms should be, it's unticked by default. So that's just me saying that. Let's put us both back on the screen. How are you, Piccia? How's things?
I'm very well, thank you. Very, very well. I read everybody saying, oh, summer is over. Apart from the fact that it's not over, it's over on the 21st of September, all right?
That's right.
But then, apart from that, I'm sorry for all you lot, because it's very much summer here where I am. I'm really sorry. I just drove a friend to the airport, and she was going back to Paris, and she was in tears. Anyway, sorry, I don't mean to gloat.
No.
Yes,
You gloat.
I'm really well, very happy. Thank you very much. I hope the same of you.
Yeah, good, thanks. I'm starting to get into this bike riding business. I'm doing this fairly large bike ride in May next year for WP and Up. We're riding from Berlin to Porto, which is 3,000 kilometers, and decided I ought to actually get on a bike, and I'm a bit achy. But that'll pass. Anyway, we're not here to talk about me. We're here for Piccia to go through some websites. We're using Skype to do this, oddly enough. So I'm going to ask Piccia if she would mind making her screen visible to us. So that
don't mind, and I'm actually happy to report that Skype have miraculously actually improved their UI.
Yay! Oh.
There is now a clear since last time when I was like, where on earth can I share the screen from? It's now really quite clear.
Oh, good.
So
well done,
good
Skype.
on you, Skype. Because
Well
there've been a lot of moaning in recent years about the Skype UX and UI. Start sharing.
Okay.
So these are links that I have them all open here. Some of them were submitted a while ago, and some of them are newer. I have more, but I think that the ideal number is 5, because that means you get at least 10 minutes per site. Otherwise, it just isn't enough. But with time, we'll get through all of them. And, so submit. And
I failed to say this before we started recording this picture, but I have a hard deadline of on the hour, pretty much. So we've got about 50 minutes, if that's all right with you.
Exactly. So we've got 10. Perfect. Basically perfect. Yes.
Okay, I'll just very quickly tell everybody what we're doing. So Piccia gets those sites submitted from that form, and then she's just going to go through them. And it was very valuable last time. We had a lot of nice comments coming back, complimenting on Piccia's, what she did, how credible it was, and how important it was. People thought that she'd given them some really good insights. And so that's what we're going to do today. And I'm just going to hand it straight over to you.
Thank you. The thing is that usually you just get really actionable tips.
Yeah.
That's what you get. So that's why it ends up being really useful. Now, you have to forgive me because I am not entirely sure who submitted this website because it was a while ago. However, there we go. I'm sure they'll show up. So this is, and actually, I'm not cheating. These websites I haven't really seen before. I may have seen the homepage for like a split second, but I haven't gone over them. This is done off the cuff. It's just done impromptu here. Well, they're as new to me almost as they are to you watching.
Okay.
So first of all, okay, you know the famous 5 seconds rule. So within 5 seconds, when you land on a website, you need to be able to understand what it does, who is it for, what it's selling, and so on. Now, this website obviously is about young girls. I'm guessing tweens to teenagers, I guess, because they look younger than teenagers, perhaps, but not that much younger. So this is already made quite clear. So also New Moon Girls, the logo, the name of the website tells me that. So give the gift of freedom to be herself and connection to other girls being themselves. It kind of tells me a bit what it's doing, but not really. So I know enough to be intrigued. And if I had a teenage daughter or a teenage niece or something like that, I would carry on in order to find out what it is. But ideally, I would make it a little bit less cryptic, what it does. Then I would say that the image I love, because it looks like, actually, maybe it is a stock image, I don't know, but it just looks, maybe it's not, because they're really natural, great girls, and they're diverse. Look at the diversity. Brilliant image. Yeah, I know, hooray. And it's such a lovely, they're happy, they're together, the light is beautiful, so the image is really, really great. I also love the fact that there's all this white space, like really generous, abundant white space. But at the same time, maybe it's a little bit too much. There is such a thing as maybe too much white space. I'll get into that later. One thing to be said is that, if I'm not wrong, the text is actually on the image. And that means, as we all know, that this text cannot be seen by Google because it's part of the image itself. Yeah. Unless it's something that I'm missing, I'm not going to use the inspector now. So that's something that you need to look at, because I'm thinking this time, I think I did it last time as well, but I want to have a bit of a UX perspective through the UI, but looking at the UI and with more of an angle on how to improve the UX. So what I would say here, and something that I'm really, really feeling a lot at the moment, also because, as maybe most of you know, that I'm building and creating this, it's already started, this course on UX. And because I am, my mind is completely on all of this, and I am looking at a lot of examples, at a lot of situations, and at a lot of normal websites and how they could do better. So here, I think that you have this amazingly warm and engaging and welcoming image. Why not make the user as involved as well? So here, I'm given nothing to do and no other clue as to what this website does. I don't know. Even though I understand it's about young girls, I don't know what you're doing for them. Well, yeah, freedom to be herself, but how? And what am I supposed to do here? Is this website about the girls, about me? Do you want my money? Do you want me to read the magazine? Do you want me to help out? Maybe I could sponsor, there's nothing here. So there's no mystery. People who've watched my courses or listened to my talks, there's a website that I always talk about, which is Duolingo, which is a language learning website. And it's it's fantastic because it gives you something to do straight away, and it draws you in, and it makes it all about the visitor, not about the business. Yeah. So this is where, it's something, I've been talking about it for a long time, but it's something that has actually sunk in recently, how important that is and how we can all do it. So even if you don't have the money to create a, language learning software, but you can do something like, for instance, you could have welcome, are you a boy or a girl? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
build like with gravity forms, like with forms. It's really simple quiz that says, okay, then you go here, read this or read that. But I don't know, I haven't visited the website and I don't know what the website does. So that's here it tells me download a free digital issue. That tells me that maybe it's a magazine. So here it says New Moon Girls magazine, Parents and Allies, and shop. So let's go to the magazine. I really like the logo because I come from branding, so I'll just say this. The logo is great. What it is, it's a little bit too complex, I find. At this size, I don't know what it's going to look like on a mobile. It looks lovely, but I think that you could have a more complex version and a much simpler version. For instance, here in the favicon, why not just have the M, just the M? Maybe the circle with the M, or maybe just the three circles, the blue, yellow, and pink. So it would be much more readable because now the whole logo is there. A circular version of the logo is there. I can't see it really. So if I were you, I would do that. Just simplify, make things as simple as possible. Now, if I go into the magazine, it is a magazine. So by Girls for Girls. And it's a free digital copy of our Girl Created. I love it. So that's brilliant. It's a brilliant initiative. I love it. Girls are powerful, active, interesting makers in charge of their lives. We open minds with our Girls World magazine. That's it. That's your that's our homepage. We open minds with our All Girls magazine. I love it. Here on this page, so I would really think about that. And if there's something that you can do about engaging your visitor, because also I don't know what's interesting about this exercise that we're doing, Nathan and everybody else, is that I don't know I have no idea who the target audience is. I'm just guessing basing on what you've designed. So when I don't know at all, that means that there's something to think about for you, because as things are with this website, I don't know who your target is. Do you want girls to find it, or do you want sponsors to find it, or do you want normal people to find it so that we find out about it? What's your so you want for people to buy it, I guess. So that's something that and also here this makes me think here that you can submit to be published. So there's lots here. There are so many opportunities to make this really, really engaging. Now, as regards that is pure UX. So I'm inviting you to give real thought about who the homepage is mainly directed at. You can have more than one type of person that you're directing your homepage at. But anyway, and what you want them to do, what would be your goal? What's the thing that you think you want them to do? And how do you make it the thing that they want them to do? So that's the thing that we all need to think about. It's what we want, where we want them to be, but how can we do it in a way that they love it as well? And that's what the Duolingo website does. I'm just going to quickly bring it up, although I should do it as a different person, because otherwise
we'll be able to track your progress.
No, it's not that. Yeah, well, that's the thing. It doesn't give you the homepage. So, and if
I see. Yeah, because you're logged in.
Do you see what I mean? So,
yeah.
Am I able to have a new tab?
Yeah, you can just click New Incognito. Click that, then click New Incognito tab.
Yeah, but it doesn't work because it doesn't.
You've shared the Skype tab. No, never mind.
Yeah, never mind. Let's go back to that. Anyway, I invite you to visit it. As regards the UI, I think that anybody who's followed me knows what I think of centered layouts. I don't particularly like them. And in this case, there are good reasons why I don't like them. It's the main one, the first one is that if you look at this copy here, download, we're all collected, issue, and so on, you can see how my eye has to really rove around the page in order to find the beginning of the next sentence. And that means that there's nowhere for me to anchor my eye. And, someone with dyslexia, for instance, would have a real issue here. And also there's way too much space in between lines. And that's something else that dyslexic people have a real problem with. And there's many more dyslexic people around than you think. And a lot of them are undiagnosed. Also, our eye has the natural tendency to find shapes. I can see like maybe a mushroom here, or a vase,
yes,
or a chess piece. I'm seeing a chess piece. So you're making my brain do too many things. I get very distracted. If what matters is the message, then I would design it very differently, and definitely not center like this. Also because, look, as I scroll down, I have centered content and then a non-centered menu that makes it really distracting for me, basically. So the way I would, really quick tip on how to design this is just have all that you have here. Almost all of this text could go, if you make the image of the magazine, the cover of the magazine bigger, and you put it on the side, on the left here. I don't know if you see my mouse at all.
Yep.
You do? Okay.
Yep.
So you put it here, and then you align to the left the actual content, making sure that you separate paragraphs. Then you would make it much easier for me to follow and to understand what it's about. And then I don't know what this here is, because I don't know. You need to explain. If there's a way for people to submit, you need to explain. Because let's say that I'm a young woman and I want to submit something. I don't know what to do or where. So I would do that. I just want to, because I think, help me out with the timing, but I think we might.
Yeah, you're a little bit over. You're about 12 minutes on this one so far.
So again, the shop, I would design it with that in mind. Just again here, there's centered and aligned layouts clashing, clashing with one another. So I go shop here and then here, and there's way too much space between these two lines. So I could carry on, but we said 10 minutes per slide, didn't we?
About 10. Shall I tell you when your 10 minutes for the next one are up?
Thank you.
And then you can either keep going or not. Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah, maybe tell me at 9 minutes.
All right. Sounds good.
Yeah. But anyway, it's a great initiative, and I'm sure that people should know more about it, sponsor it, help you out with this, and and you should sell it. So there are so many ways that you could be doing this. So yeah, I think it's a great opportunity. But brilliant initiative. Well done. Yeah.
Great. All right. Shall we move on to the other one, and I will reset my clock for 9 minutes.
Fantastic. So. This is Total Design Works. I don't know if that specific page was given or. So this is an agency website. Okay. I like this very much. Again, I'd seen the other page. I hadn't seen this. Okay. I love that it tells me straight away TDW is a print and web design agency in East London. Perfect. We'll help you with. Okay, so there are things that I don't like, and they're actually making me slightly queasy. You learn as this goes on that I am very, very sensitive to motion sickness. Things that move and I can't stop are a problem for me. So while I love this design, and I will even say that I'm all right with the video in the background. I'm all right with it because it's subtle, it's beautiful. I love this explosion of color followed by the black and white, and it's subtle enough that it would not bother me because it's not moving, it's not doing any weird things, it's just in a loop. And I think that what I would recommend is to have it run once. That's it. What's driving me a bit bonkers is the print design, branding, print management that's coming. That is giving me motion sickness. I'm sorry, it is. So I would absolutely not do that. I understand why you do that because it's kind of a clever way of telling people everything that you can do. And I understand that you're an integrated agency and you do all these things, which is brilliant. But just, make a list or choose one for the month and, just because it's the same as having a slider on your homepage. It just means you're insecure about your content. You can't pick one image that represents you. You should do that. If you're a photographer, then have a proper gallery somewhere else. So I'm guilty of that. I once took photos for a client and did a slider on their homepage because I took the photos, but that was not the right thing to do. And so this is lovely. I love how readable it is because the background is dark enough. And I love that it's left aligned. I love everything about it. Really, I do. But it's dry. Make the video just run once and stop that text animation. But looks lovely. Also, one thing that slightly bothers me is that, but again, this is slightly nitpicking. But if I were you, I wouldn't center the menu because your content isn't centered. I would align it to your text here. So that's what I would do. But having said this, it's really, really, really nice. And I kind of like that you've got the info here, and you've got, book a call, which is so easy to do. And normally I don't recommend having more than one menu, but I think here it works because here you say all that you do, and here you're saying about and contact, which works. Now, this was pure UI comment. In terms of UX, let's not forget, it's user experience. So what value does the visitor get from the website? I think that in the case of agencies, I used to find it difficult to work out how you could give value beyond just telling people what you do, but I'm now getting there. Because, for instance, so if I click on, I'm going to go below the fold, okay? Why you should work with us? You need to get your business noticed. That's quite nice. That's really, really nice. That's good. Again, same thing that I said before about centered text. It's problematic also when it goes too long for me.
Yep.
But that's lovely. And let's start your project. Okay, I'm gonna click. I'm really curious about what that does. Let's start your project. But I'm gonna click on find out more. So one thing that I would recommend, I can see here that if you look at these buttons, they have sharp corners, and this one doesn't. I recommend, and there's a very, very subtle border radius, and I would recommend having the border radius, which is something that actually recently Vito Peleg pointed out. In real life, things don't have sharp corners; they have a very slight border radius because otherwise you get hurt. So if a button was had sharp corners, so I would recommend that border radius. That's great, and maybe you could have different colors for different functions, but again, I'm nitpicking. So I'm gonna click, because let's say that I come here and I think, okay, even with what I said about the things that move too much, I still think this is a lovely page, and I would think, yeah, this is a nice agency. I do want to find out more. So what happens? Oh, so I'm taken here to website design. So here is where again, I would recommend giving a more interesting journey. So here's why your business needs a website that works. Find out more. So let's see what happens here. Oh, this is where, so that's why I had that page, because I think, so here is where you, okay. So same comment here, the thing that move in the background, by now you may, if I was about to give you money, you might have lost me, because it's giving me, if I move away from this page, it's just because I can't. But again, I am exaggerating. That's me. It really is me only. But you may have a client that is like me. So why risk that? I wouldn't risk it. So discover how. Let's go to. Also, drop us a line. Okay. So one thing that I have to say that is the most difficult thing in the whole world is to do your own website. This has to be said about agencies' websites. I have considered getting someone else to do mine. I think I will. So I assume that what you want from the website is for people to drop you a line. Again, I have no idea whether this works or not. So it would be interesting to have the stats. Maybe this works. But so far, I have had to take various clicks to do that. Also, another thing is that people may not really be ready to either call you or drop you a line when the first time that they visit you. Also, I find that forms like this, and this again is something that has really sunk in recently, because I have been looking at how to best and who does this kind of thing best. And something like this requires work from my part. You're asking me to actually create a message to send you, to tell you what I need and so on. There are, I think, other ways of building a form that we can do and that are not actually that difficult. Can I show a website really quickly?
Yeah, of course.
So there's a website that I'm using as an example. It's a pet sitting website. And also they get so many things right. Like, for instance, it has geolocated me because it's ES, but it hasn't forced Spanish on me. It's just giving people agency. Basically, the best websites give the visitor agency. So here, look, it's a service thing. So you could have, I'm not saying that it's what you should do. East London, total design works. I'm not saying that's what you should do, but I'm just giving you an example of how if the form is what you want, a form like this that makes it ridiculously easy for me to decide what I want. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, look at that.
It's so easy.
Mm.
But the thing is, and I know these people, they're all over the world. They're a great global company. I'm sure they have a lot of money behind them. But really, we know how to build a form. You know what I mean? It's just I think that for these people is the database behind, because they have people all over the world. But we can do this. We can do this fairly easily, I think. So that's what, if what you want people to do is this, that's what I recommend. Again, the video behind, I'm finding a little bit problematic. So I would just not have an image underneath, because always ask yourself, does this add value? If it doesn't, don't have it really. Just make everything as easy as possible for your client.
That
then
funny
again,
little noise picture, by the way, was my alarm clock saying that 9 minutes are up. There you go.
I didn't hear the funny.
Oh, good. Okay, fair enough.
So again, good. So now I can wrap up. I think this is working. I'm liking it. So again, lovely website. We haven't really gone in too much into it, but that's my obviously really, I haven't even seen the work, but obviously you do great work. It's obvious even just from this, but that's what I would recommend. Again, I have no idea who your target is and what you actually want them to do, but if following the clues that you put on the website, I got to the drop us a line. So if you want them to contact you via a form, I would make it more engaging. I would make me work less. Give me options so I don't have to write a message. Because if I hate writing messages. I just hate it. I have to write so much in my life. Emails to clients, blah, 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 and content. So, there are ways of doing that I feel that, use your creativity, you're creative. So do that with how you, and actually be super clear about what you want clients to do when they land on your page. So I hope this was helpful, but again, really lovely website.
Good.
Yeah.
Thank you. Great. So
Great.
Wow, we're trucking through these, aren't we? We're on number 3 now. Yeah.
Yes. Number 3 is David, Page Builder Framework.
Did he submit that? That's great.
Yeah, he did, and he did like 5 minutes after the last one was finished. So I have no idea who's watching, by the way. Maybe you do. If there are any comments, you let me know. Won't you?
Yeah, they're all just they're all saying, sort of agreeing mostly with what you've got. There's quite a few. If something comes through that requires your attention, I'll be sure to interrupt. Yeah.
Great. So, lovely. Again, really nice, clean, just like the theme itself. And I love the subtle use of the gradient, which the gradients are quite on trend, and that's nice. It's a nice trend when it's not overused, because it gives depth. It does. So it's really nice. This is left aligned. Yay! And again, I'm really aware of how West centered I am, because maybe in Arabic you need to align to the right. Do you know what I mean? Because it starts from somewhere else. But this is for us. So, Page Builder Framework, a modern, fast and minimalistic theme designed for the new WordPress era. Clear. I know exactly what I'm here. Perfect. Download. He wants me to download it, doesn't he? So if I download, it takes me to pricing. Good. So he's letting me know that I can download free now and forever, or that I have the premium add-ons. Here I haven't got rid of the cookies yet, so I'm gonna click on OK. This is quite nice. It's nice language. It's all right. I don't know if for GDPR we actually meant to give options. Check, on whatever. I don't want to think about it. It's almost as much of a headache as Brexit is. So yeah, I won't go there. So yeah, I mean, this is lovely. If anything, the gray bar at the top is even too subtle, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
But clearly, so I would make more of a difference. I think that here the difference, so we have three options. Clearly, this is the one that he wants people to buy, obviously, because it's the best. So it's put in the center, perfect. Best value, it's made bigger, and so on. What I would do is that free is pretty readable. Again, I'm nitpicking. It is totally readable, but it looks exactly the same as premium add-on. It's the same colors and everything. So I would differentiate it.
Oh, good. Yeah, good thinking. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's way too similar, and this doesn't stand out enough. This premium 58 doesn't stand out enough. Then, of course, there's one case where it's difficult to not center, and it's with this kind of pricing boxes. I still think you shouldn't center. I still think you need to find another way, but it's not so bad. And also, it's kind of all right when things like here in the central one, most lines are similar length, but it always look with centered. Basically, when you center, you're not aligning. Centered alignment is not aligned. Do you know what I mean? There's nothing looks aligned. I know that in theory it's symmetrical, but in reality it isn't, because for it to be symmetrical, you'd need to have palindromic.
Palindromic, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, and you don't. So features, the SA, it just doesn't work for me. It's never going to work. And I know that there are cases. Yes, I'm not saying never, because there are cases when you can center, and I completely understand the temptation with something like this. So you have three, which is the magical thing for selling. So, but I cannot. Yeah. So I'm not saying this is fine. It's not. But that's what I think. I would just, like I said, I think that maybe you should choose an accent color, because what I'm seeing. So this lovely gradient, because clearly blue is the brand color. And the lovely gradient here has a lot of, in the top here, it has quite a bit of yellow. So maybe you could have a yellow as a contrast color, because what you're running the risk of is it's lovely, it's fresh, it's a lovely design, but you don't want it to be too samey. Because also I can tell, I haven't even gone through the color blindness testing. I'm sure you might have done. But so make sure that when you use similar colors, that you make sure that that you don't just rely on hue, rely on brightness. So you must mix like really bright and really dark colors, because that's what. So if someone can't see color at all or sees a different color, they can tell them apart because of the brightness rather than the. So I'm just going to go back to the home page. So in a way, again, this is, it took me, maybe it would take me 2 clicks to download. I mean, this is slightly misleading. It's all right, but it's slightly misleading because I fully thought that this would bring me to the actual download. It doesn't, but it's the pricing, so it's fine. It's fine because it's only 2 clicks, so that's fine. But I'm wondering, David, whether you could be a little bit more playful here. And I'm all into this thing. I can't wait to do it for all my websites when I have time, and definitely my clients, to be more playful and get someone really engaged, and actually so that they want, it's this subtle art of giving your visitors what they want while getting them where you want them. I think that's the real thing about this. But I have to say that again here it's a bit too subtle when I'm hovering over the menu, and here it's a little bit too subtle. But literally, I'm nitpicking. It's such a lovely website, and here, yeah, again, really way too subtle. I would really increase the contrast with the sub menu hover, and here in the menu as well. So
David is actually watching this, by the way. He is consuming
your
every word. Yeah.
And then also another thing that I recommend when you're using, so when you have also I'm not quite sure what these logos represent. People that have talked about you, that sponsor you, that they use you. I think you need to clarify that, because they're very different. So I thought, maybe they're podcasts, but they're not, because there's Power Pack, they're not. And then I thought, maybe they're builders, but they're not, because there's somehow not builders. So I would maybe clarify that. And also I would recommend that instead of this line is very distracting, because with logos, they're all different colors, sizes, and orientations. So have them all in gray, have them in grayscale. That's the best way to have logos. But everybody will, they'll all be fine.
Except that one at the far right. Leave that one really colourful, because that's really groovy. I like that one.
Yeah, exactly. I know. That's the one. That's the exception. So, so that's what I would do, because otherwise, again, you must make the number one thing is don't make them think. So if I have all these different colors, logos, sizes, and symbols, I'm making my brain go into overdrive. They're making my brain work too hard. So I would leave them as they are. It looks tidy and lovely and clearly aligned, but make them have them in grayscale. So that's and again, here is the dreaded centered stuff. And I completely understand why you would want to center this, but I really encourage everybody to try and find a different way to just pretend for one day in your life, just do things as if centered alignment was broken and you couldn't use it. And also here, David, I would differentiate more. So, it's super subtle and so minimalistic, which I love. It's an amazing quality. But again, there needs to be more of a differentiation between these boxes, because otherwise it's difficult for my eye to find an anchor, basically. And it's difficult to separate the bits of content. Not too bad, it's still in the context of a really nice design. But I would recommend that. And I would really look at seeing how you could do this without centering. I think we rely on centered layouts way too much these days. I'm guilty,
9 minutes, Piccia, just to let you know.
So this is lovely. The results speak for themselves. Tested, just lovely. Trusted by industry experts. Perfect. This is a case when a slider is fine, because it's not moving. You're giving me agency. Basically, again, another thing is give your visitors agency always, so they feel it's their choice. And here it's okay to have a slider, because it's not moving. And I can go, okay, I really do want to know. Oh, look, and I can move it by, perfect. That's really, really lovely. So, and website built with it, because as we go, I mean, the UX is also considering whether people are finding everything that they would want to know about the theme, and I am finding everything here. So, learn more. As I would say, I would just be a bit more playful with it if you can.
Yeah.
But otherwise it is fundamentally, a lovely website.
There you go, yeah? David. Thumbs up. That's your 10-minute call, Piccia.
Great. Now, this one, I think is Demeter, who we had a conversation with. Is he there?
I've not seen him post a comment. There's no way of me really knowing who's here. All I can see is who's posting comments, and he hasn't posted a comment. So. Okay.
So if you're there, Demeter, then post a comment so we know. Okay, so this website, I didn't look at it, but I did land on the page before. Now, it looks like it's a really big website, I think. So it's tennis analysis of events, matches, and players from the world of tennis. That tells me straight away, oops, that's weird. I don't know what I clicked on.
Oh,
Whoopsies.
that would be a great shame if his tennis website wasn't going to load for us anymore. Oh no! I wonder if we've just killed it. I wonder if people are going
So
like 4 or
I
5
think this,
concurrent.
yeah, I think this happened before.
Yeah, should we come back
Last
to
time,
that
the
one?
first, yeah, let's come back to that one. Anyway, so let's go to what a story, and I think what a story is possibly been what a story is Raunak, isn't he?
Is it
Raunak,
Raunak? Yeah, okay.
yeah, I think so. Well, Raunak has another company as well, but I think this is it. So there's the chat box here, which is great. Oh, okay, book a call. Again, I think that although it's good, you're giving me something to do, you're giving me agency, but I don't know how many people are ready to book a call unless they know you already. I don't know. I wouldn't be. I would. I just because I hate the phone. I always did. So I want to. I'm not ready for that yet. But it's good because I can just do this. I can just close it. That's fine. Now again, same thing about the video. My thing with motion sickness is so pronounced that I'm having an issue going through the review. And I know it sounds like hugely exaggerating, but there are other people like me. And I know that you're a video company, but you don't need to have video running in the background to tell me that. Do you know what I mean? So because just on the off chance that I am a client and I get distracted by the video and I don't want, and I just go, I can't deal with this. You don't want that, do you? I don't think so. So I like, videos for true marketing goals. I think is fine. So I understand immediately that you do marketing videos. They're not special effects. They're not documentaries. They're marketing videos. So that's good. Express yourself, connect with prospects, grow your profits. Good. Now start your project. Start project is a good. It's a good call to action. It's yellow. I would actually this again. When you design, you should always design with the worst case scenario in mind. The worst case scenario is someone who is old and can't see very well.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm not even that old. I mean, my eyesight, I am, of course, fantastically useful in every other way. But my eyesight started going, after having had like eagle eyes for all my life, it started going down from close really early, like at age 38, 39, it was already. So it's many more people than you think, like really. So here the problem with this button is, well, I love the brown, as we said before, it's got the rounded corners, but there isn't enough contrast between the type color and the background, but also it's way too thin. It's too small. And the typeface is too thin. I love thin typefaces. You have no idea how painful it is for me not to use the thinnest. In print design I could do it. Now I can't. Anyway, so I want to see what happens with Start Project.
Okay.
Because that's what I would do. I mean, obviously that's what you want me to do. Okay, contact us. Again, what I said before. Well, it's fantastically great that you're doing you're making it so easy for me to find out where you are and how to get in touch with you. That's absolutely great. But again, why not be a bit more playful? Because I mean, I'm highly unlikely to do anything like this. To feel personally, obviously I can't talk for anyone else because I'm not anyone else. But I would not fill the form. Because also, again, you're asking me to do work. That's what you're asking me to do. Why not? Ooh, you can see my address if I do that. So why not make it playful? Why not ask me all these questions through a form that you build and gets people through? And then in the end, you're like, right, great. Either leave us. How do you like? Would you like us to get in touch? Would you like us to call you back? You know what? When people ask whether I want to be called back, I say yes, because I feel like I'm important to them, even though I hate phone calls. But if someone says that, I would just go, yeah, actually, it'd be quite good, so I don't have to write. But why not have a form that they go through that asks these questions? Right, okay, so what's your name? Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Does it make sense?
Yeah, it does.
It's And actually, I want to show you a company that does that. May I?
You can. Lemonade.com.
Lemonade. So they're actually in Europe. They're active in Germany. But so that's what they do. I mean, forget everything you know about insurance. Super clear. Instant everything, killer prices, big heart. So here's someone for every single contact form that we've seen. I've said, I don't want to feel that. Now here it says check our prices. Clear, because people want to know how much it's going to cost them, basically. And of course, with insurance, it's easier than other things. But anyway, so if I click on check our prices, which is what I want to know.
Mm-hmm.
But this is what they want me to do. They want my name, surname, and everything. But look, here's Maya, and she looks real. She doesn't look like a stock photo person. I'll get you an awesome price in seconds. Ready to go. And actually, I did go the first time. I was like, yeah, this is fun. Because it feels like I'm playing, you know?
Yeah, I get it.
So I did it. I'm not going to go through it now. But I think all of us can do this. It doesn't need to be like a huge UX, a huge company with like a huge UX team. I mean, it helps, but you can do this. You're creatives. What is Story are creatives, and I know that they do great work. So be creative with how you get the visitor to your page to do what you want them to do. Now, again, having no idea who the target audience is and what the results are, maybe they get great results with this form. Maybe they do. But if you think that it could be better, then I would suggest the same thing that I've suggested for everyone, actually. Make it more playful and get them where you want them, which is to speak to them. You want a lead, that's what you want. So, yes, and in terms of the UI, I think you need more contrast again. But you see, it's much better when, like here in Let's Talk, it's bold, so that's much better. And then here I would like for something to happen when I hover, because yes, the mouse turns to the little Mickey Mouse hand, but I think that you need more than that in order to make people understand that it's actually interactive.
Yep. Okay.
So if I click on Works, what happens if I click on Works? It's slower because I'm on Skype, video, blah, blah, blah. So it's slower than normal.
Oh.
Even though I have very fast internet. We make videos. So I live in a really hot place and I have fast internet. We make videos and TV commercials. View our work. Nice and to the point. Really great. And it's quite easy for me to watch them. Again, here they hover and you need more of a differentiation, and I think you need to. I don't know. You may need to make it clearer that they're interactive, and again center aligned. I'll shut up about that. But so now I'm really curious to see the videos. But it's it looks this grid looks great. Yeah, very 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 well done and impressive. So I'm going to just go quickly, if we have time, to why you should choose What a Story as your video production team. We're a bridge between low budget, low quality and the ones that only 1% and result great quality video. Okay, so here, I think in terms of the why that you give me, it's a very good why. What I would recommend is here you have, well, again, it's centered. I shut up about that. But you have 3 different typefaces.
Yeah, I was seeing that. Yep.
1, 2, 3. 1 is all you need, really, because then you're diluting the brand. Already I see quite a few different ones because the one in the navigation is not the same as this, and it's not the same as in the logo, which is fine. But then just stick to one. I've said this, I'm sure, millions of times. Stick to one and choose one that has loads of different weights, which I think this could be this grotesque. I think it might be anyway, it's one that I can't remember exactly which one it is, but it's one that has loads of weights. And if it doesn't, then choose another one that has loads of weights.
You've had
so that you can
roughly 10 minutes on this one, just to interrupt there, sorry.
Yeah. Okay, great. So we know for fairness, we both have a hard
stop in about 8 minutes time, actually. So we'll probably squeeze one more in quickly.
Yeah, well, this one. Okay, good.
Hey, it's back. Demeter.
So, Demeter,
I did ping him, but I don't think he's watching live. But he'll probably watch it afterwards.
here, watch it afterwards. So you need to look at that because it happened more than once, and I don't know what I clicked or why. So, okay, this is a really complex website that has a lot in it, and that again, I don't know what you want me to do. So I would recommend also, if I may say, it looks like it's a little bit of old-fashioned design. It looks like I can't remember if I checked on mobile. I don't know if it's responsive, but I'm sure it is. But anyway, I'd be interested to see what the menu looks like, because again, here it's good that when I hover, there's a differentiation, so I understand that, but there's way too much stuff on this menu, I find. And I don't know. So analysis of events, matches, and players from the world of tennis. So who's your audience? Is it people that already know about this, so they come here because it's sort of direct traffic, and they come here because they know what they're looking for? But if it's not, if you want people to find the analysis, then you need to have more focus to the homepage, because I don't know what the focus is, and there's way too much going on in this menu with very, very, very tiny type that I find difficult to read, because it's also slanted for no particular reason, I don't think. So I love tennis, so I'm very curious. But here, for instance, don't have the ad here. Marketing and UX, it's always a balance. It's difficult to make both happy. But if I have the ad here, you're putting me off immediately, because the first thing that I see is the ad. So I don't know, maybe you're making loads of money with this ad. Again, it's UX. You need to always double check against what people want and what they don't want. So if they click on it, then maybe, but maybe they click on it by mistake. So you mean because it's just right there. So don't put the ad at the center of your website. Put what you want them to do at the center. So maybe what you want them to do is the victory of Grigor Dimitrov. Okay, the copy is a little bit confusing, but because this is great, someone who's not as well known defeated Federer. Brilliant. Yeah. So Novak did that recently as well. So yeah, what a
game! What a game it was.
I know, what a game. Yeah. It was amazing. I love it when they give you like real value for your time. I love it. I actually said when Federer was winning, I said, nah, don't win now. Come on, give us more. And then he lost, and I was like, oh, what have I done? But anyway, so if this is the featured article, have it here, because anyone who's really interested in tennis will go there first one day. They just will. They will just like, yeah, I want to read about that. Because also I haven't followed the US Open yet, and this reminds me, I want to go. So yeah, and also the alignment here is well, they're not really, they're centered to the menu. So this is like alignment wise, it needs to be reworked, and also the flags need to be on the same line, I would think. And then also you cannot just have the flags to signify the language, because you're taking way too much for granted. First of all, they were all British, which we're not. There's many different types of English. Then that I recognize the flag. Maybe I don't recognize the flag. Or that are you sure that a web reader will read the flag? Maybe it won't. So you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, and again, the same point about using different fonts. Here you have the logo in a completely, and which has a kind of drop shadow, which I don't like. I know that you're using that red because it's the red of a tennis court, and you put that sort of drop shadow because you want it to stand out more against the background. But then I would rethink that if I were you, because the drop shadow is really not very good for anybody who's got sight impairments, because I'm astigmatic, so that's problematic for me. It sort of vibrates. And then careful with caps, because web readers will spell this out. They read it as ANALYSESOF, so I'm sure you don't want that. So I would do that. So because also, is this what's the aim again? Is this a just news website, like a paper? Is that what it is? Because if it is a magazine, a newspaper, copy the Guardian. Go to the Guardian website.
Yeah,
Guardian,
it's pretty good.
Go here. Well, I always tell people, when in doubt, do what the Guardian does. Look, they have an ad. It's going to come here in good time. They have an ad, but I can bypass it. And again, always remember to give your visitors agency. Give them agency, both in terms of giving them something to do, which is great, so get them involved, but also make it possible for them to choose. That's great UX. So I see how they've done it. Clearly, this is what they want to show today. Oh, they have the dreaded slider. Guardian, I can't believe you've done this. Yeah, it's a slider with different news. Okay. I wouldn't do that.
Actually, it seems to be. Oh yeah, no, you're right. Or is it just pictures about the same article? I think it might be just pictures referring to the same piece. I'm not sure.
Yeah, but it's now live. It wasn't live before. It was the first thing that we saw. I don't think so. Anyway, that bothers me, Guardian. I can't believe you've done that. Really can't believe
Get on the phone.
No, because they're brilliant. I mean, usually, the way they do typography, the way, but they're getting, so before they would never have used this sort of quite Ryanair yellow. I mean, the top mast here is Ryanair. It's Ryanair. Clearly they're doing it because they want money. Clearly that's working, or they wouldn't use it, because they've been brilliant, because they've managed to stay independent and to now they recently broke even, which is fantastic, because they're still not behind a paywall. It's fabulous. So they do things really well. So whatever the Guardian do usually works, but not this. It's just not responsive. Oh yeah, no, I think it was the same. The article hasn't changed. It's just the slider that changes. Yeah. And I just choose one. Don't do that to me, please, because it will make me sick. I suppose that maybe they think that people don't stay there that long. Maybe that's it. Oh, God, it's 4 o'clock.
It is. It's 4 o'clock. Well, it's 3 o'clock here, 4 o'clock where you are. So we're going to have to knock it on the head, if that's all right.
Yeah.
Just a couple of things before you go, if that's okay. Do you mind if I just take over the screen for a minute? Thank you for all that. The first thing to say is, oh, look, there we are. Piccia has a course called UX for Everyone. And if I click on this button, you'll be able to see that if you follow that link, wpbuilds.com/link/UX for everyone, you'll be able to get to that page. And there is a 10% off code, which you can see on your page. It's the code is WPBuildsRocks, which is very kind of you, Piccia. I appreciate the name of the code there. So yeah, wpbuilds.com/link/UX, the number for everyone, and go and investigate her course. Piccia, do you want to just stop sharing your screen so that we can see your face once more?
Yeah, I'd love that.
That'd be great. And we'll just we'll round off by saying thank you very much. I can still see your screen. There we go. Now it's me and you having a chat.
I'll just say really quickly that the course has been built. It's God, I know I'm saying it, but it's great. I'm loving building it, but also what I'm really keen on doing is I'm building community around it. So for instance, we meet every week already. As I'm building it, modules are coming out. The first module is already out. Please go check the lessons out, because you can do that. And there's a few free lessons. And then we meet every week. There's a Slack workspace. There's a Facebook group. There's coaching calls. There's all sorts of things coming up. So there's loads of real value beyond just the videos. And very soon I'm going to basically be working on a UX project, and you'll be there with me, just sort of over my shoulder kind of. So, and it's both for small agencies and bigger agencies, because one of the projects I'll be working on is big, but also for one-pager websites. But it's for people, it's not sort of for small to medium as well as freelancers. But we know, so you get a proper full-on process that you can take from the beginning to the end. And I'll shut up now.
No, it's good. I think it's very good. You've given us 58 or 9 minutes of your time for free, and in return, you get to pitch something. I think that's a fair deal. The other thing that I would say is that we're going to be doing this each and every month. And if you head over to this page, which is wpbuilds.com/UI, this date will obviously change. And it won't be the 4th of September. It'll be some point in October. We haven't settled on the date yet. But if you go to that page, you can submit your website here. And you never know, when we do this next time, it might be your website that Piccia has a look at, and you get some nice free pointers about some UI or UX improvements. So one final quick wave from Piccia and I. Thank you very much, Piccia. Really appreciate you having on today, and we'll see you next month.
Yes, can I just say before I forget?
Of course.
That yes, the 10% discount is valid for a week. A week.
So you've got to use that code within the next week.
You've got to use that code.
Use that code. And we'll see you again soon. Right, bye-bye for now.
Thank you very much.
No worries. Bye.
Bye. Bye-bye.